Hey guys, welcome back to Haulin' Weenies.
In this video, we are going to talk a little bit about why we started in the mobile food business, hot dogs more specifically, and some of the challenges we faced along the way, how we overcame them, challenges we still face, and some of the frequently asked questions that we get from time to time. We're going to cover a lot of that here in this video right now. All right, guys. So we get asked why we started a mobile food business.
All the time.
All the time. And it's hard to talk about while we're on the cart running a mobile food business. It's a little bit different from like a brick and mortar. We don't really have like waitresses and cooks in the back and stuff like that. And we can just kind of walk around and check on guests, if you will. So we're literally kind of an all-in-one show. So it really is difficult to get to know our people and our customers and friends and things like that while we're out and about. So that's kind of why we're doing this in general, this whole, video diary thing. But we do get asked a lot, and there's a little bit of a story with that. Erica always stayed home and hung out with the kiddos while I went out and did things for money and stuff like that. She stayed home, hung out with them until they were like school age. We have 3 of them, by the way. That's a handful. But we found that when the youngest was going to school, you kind of looking for something to do during the day.
Looking for work.
And we kicked around the idea of a job, but even when your kids are in school, there's still like
sports.
Yeah.
Appointments. Calling because one of them are sick.
Yeah, the sick days.
Yep.
There's still sporadic things where it's like it's nice to have like that little bit of freedom, flexibility, a schedule, and things like that. So that kind of brought up, well, working for yourself is probably gonna serve our family the best, and it has so far.
Yeah.
And a couple years ago, we were up at a campground and we met this guy doing pizzas out of like a homemade pizza rig. It was really cool, and that kind of sparked the mobile food. We kind of got to talking with him a little bit and seen some of the benefits and things like that. And
long line.
Yep.
Lots of money.
He was loving his life, and he was, really compacting for his time. He was doing very well. So after talking with him a little bit, learning a little bit about what he does, that's really what kind of sparked the whole take food on the road, build a little bit of a fan base and serve food, and turned out to be.
You can go anywhere.
That's kind of the fun part. In the hot dog or any sort of mobile food business, you can go to the customer. It's kind of a matter of convenience. It's not, as opposed to like a brick and mortar store where you got to have people come to you. There's pros and cons, absolutely. Absolute pros and cons. But for our family, it was a low cost investment, really, at the end of the day. And, but hindsight, we know that now, but at the time we were a little unsure. But for the most part, it says why did you guys land on hot dogs? So mobile food was kind of the key starter.
You see a lot of taco trucks, a lot of barbecue trucks, a lot of ice cream trucks, but you don't ever see a hot dog truck.
Saturated.
Yep.
At least where we're at. We're in Kalamazoo, Michigan. I can probably count on one hand the amount of hot dog rigs we've seen rolling around.
One.
And I don't have enough fingers and toes to count the barbecue trucks.
No.
So, well, and also there's some other things to that. I like to cook, but I wouldn't say people like my cooking. So
I love your cooking.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I love your baking. Boom. But you can't screw up a hot dog.
No.
You really have to try, right? So that
And
was
if
kind
you
of.
think about the hot dogs, if you're making hot dogs from home, you're getting like the cheap hot dogs, cheap buns, ketchup, mustard, relish on these hot dogs.
I hate using the word gourmet.
Use it.
These are some gourmet hot dogs. I'm not gonna lie.
Yep.
That's just what we've been told. Somebody referred to us as these guys are serving up gourmet hot dogs. I kind of scratched my head for a second. I don't really associate hot dogs with gourmet. When I think about hot dogs, it takes me back to like being a little kid spending a day at like ball fields or something, and you're getting this
or
like
at the pool.
Yeah, just this,
When your mom brings you out a hot dog and you got wet hands and the bun gets wet and
it's
just
already soggy
it's nasty.
because it was wrapped in foil and chucked out the window.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, we try to focus on like the beauty of a
Quality.
hot dog. What's more American than a hot dog too, right?
Yep.
I mean, we love America. We love hot dogs. So that's kind of how we landed on hot dogs. Plus, it's wallet-friendly food. We have a family of 5. So when we go out to like events and festivals and things like that as a family,
Even just Culver's.
we love Culver's.
Culver's, we're spending at least $70 to get everybody fed.
I eat a lot, but yeah, I gotta get 2 meals because I love the fries, but I also love the cheese curds, and I love the butter burger, but I also love the chicken tenders. So I usually just do the 2 meals. So we have a family of 6 when we go to Culver's. We love Culver's, and I think
we
Culver's
have a
loves us
family
too.
of 6 wherever we go.
That's true. But anyway, so that's just, in a nutshell, that's kind of how we landed on hot dogs, and it's more of a, it's wallet friendly, and we kind of wanted to serve those families that are out there that may not want to spend, $100+ on feeding their crew.
But they're still eating from a food trailer, so they still get the awesome experience.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep. And it's good hand food. Like when you're out and about in the summertime, it's just really good. What's easier to eat than a hot dog?
I did learn last year from a customer that when you're giving a child a hot dog, you should put the condiments underneath the hot dog. That way when they put the hot dog in their mouth, the ketchup and mustard and relish won't just go like dripping down the front of them.
Pro tip.
Yep.
I actually remember learning that because when you gave that lady the hot dog, she actually took the hot dog and flipped it over and gave it to it like she knew what she was doing.
Yeah. You think being a mom you would know, but
no.
She was just a pro wiener.
You just do a lot of laundry instead.
Yeah.
But pro tip, turn your hot dogs over for the kid,
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, that's basically how we ended up selecting hot dogs. And
Ooh.
So what were your biggest challenges, and what are, when you started? Biggest challenge. Hardest part of starting a hot dog cart.
Scheduling events, not knowing
Not hard.
what the weather was going to be for that day. Having an umbrella and an open cart.
Yep.
Scheduling an event a month, 2 months, 3 months out. Don't know what the weather's going to be.
That's tough. We live in Michigan, Kalamazoo, Michigan. I don't know if I told you guys that yet or not. But here, the weather changes like our kids' moods, right? Like it is.
Like your mood.
It's snowing right now. It's April 9th, and it is snowing outside. And this weekend, we're Wednesday, and this weekend is supposed to be 60 and sunny, beautiful. We're going to be selling hot dogs this weekend. So, pretty weird. So, we are actually kind of using these crappy days to kind of, do our vlogging and keep you guys, engaged with what we're doing. So, but anyway, biggest challenge, definitely the weather. That was a really good one. Yep. It was our second event, I think. It was our Memorial Day event. We were doing a car show, and we had just got the umbrella, and we actually, back then, we had a handwritten menu, It was like a piece of glass with our menu items written on it.
It was cool though because it lit up. And even when it was raining, it was smeared all down the front of it.
We're getting sleeted on, trying to hold up the umbrella that's blowing in the wind, making hot dogs. Second time out, no idea what it was. That was a challenge. That was a challenging day.
People didn't even know what we were selling on that day.
Nope. But it was nice of them to just come up and ask what we had.
Yep.
So yeah, that was challenging. The weather is definitely challenging. It's hard to be reliable for like your event planners and things like that. It's hard to be like reliable because you really don't want to cancel on anybody. So sometimes you just got to toughen up and go do what you got to do. But
our menu is weatherproof now.
It is weatherproof now. Our umbrella is tied down. We overcame these things, so we're slowly but surely. But I could imagine how we looked on day 2. Day 1 was beautiful.
So if you've seen us that day, I'm sorry.
Sorry, but thank you for supporting us.
Come
anyway.
again.
Now we're here. So, but anyhow, that's challenging. Spelling.
Yep.
I spelled mayonnaise wrong on a menu one time. So when we originally tried to weatherproof the sign, we actually wrote it on black cardboard, slipped it behind the glass, spent all this time on this really, the menu. And
good handwriting.
Thank you.
Yep. Awful spelling.
I didn't spell check it.
Yep.
It was just mayonnaise. I can spell mayonnaise now. So I overcame that.
Spell mayonnaise.
Mayonnaise. So yeah, but anything's but on the bright side, you don't necessarily have to know how to spell to run a hot dog cart. So if you're interested in starting a mobile food business, just use spell check.
Yeah, don't let the menu stop you from starting.
Or run this by your wife before you hang it up in front of your customers. Because when the customer says, I think you spelled mayonnaise wrong, that can be embarrassing.
To you.
To me.
I was like...
But no, on a serious note, there's this thing called imposter syndrome. I'd never worked in any food business or anything like that before, me personally. And
it's raining now.
Weather update. It's raining. And snowing. It's like a sleet, rain, snow. Fun. But when you pull up to your first event and there's a bunch of food trailers everywhere, there's people everywhere, and you gotta get out and just kind of you feel like you're out of place. It's almost like everybody's watching you and they're like
judging.
This guy has no idea what he's doing.
Yeah. I
don't know. Probably not the case because I don't ever look at people like that. But you get this sense of kind of like, do I belong into this thing? It's just a little bit of a hurdle. That was a challenge for me personally because I'm used to just kind of working with my hands behind the scenes by myself. I don't talk to people or deal with people on my day-to-day stuff that I do. You're used to do or whatever. I found that to be a little bit of a hurdle to kind of get. But after day 2 or 3, over it. Everything's great. People, you might have overthought that one, in my mind, in hindsight. So that was a challenge for me. The most rewarding part, comes with its challenges, but if you want to know the rewards are very cool too, especially some of the unexpected ones. The biggest one is definitely the people. We're in a small town, and it's very rewarding when you get people that come back to you, or they follow your Facebook and things like that, and they literally seek you out. It's really easy to, take a Burger King, for instance. You know where Burger King's at, when they're open and things like that. With the mobile food business, you are kind of always moving around. You're doing different events. you know, especially like we don't really do like that regular kind of street vending corner spot, like this is the corner we work type of thing. Uh, you know what I mean? We kind of found we do have those couple spots to do for like fillers and things like that, but for the most part, primarily, Erica's been really fortunate of just getting out there and getting after it and making sure she's kind of on the list for events and festivals and things like that, and
All the events.
all the events. So that's kind of like where we specialize, but it is extremely rewarding when these people will come and find you because they either like you, your food, or both, or whatever. That for
They come find me.
yes.
Not you take too long to make a hot dog.
Well, my hot dogs are beautiful. That's why.
They are beautiful.
That's why they take so long. Rome wasn't built in a day. You
No.
taste it with your eyes first. Okay.
Yeah.
Taste it with your eyes first. Right. So, and then the money is rewarding as well. Can be, has its days. That's
We've had a day where we make $30 and we were out there
I
for
remember
like
that day.
4 hours.
Yeah.
Not going back.
Yep. Yeah, you'll learn to kind of pick and choose what events, you know, what's worth your time and what's not. So that's part of your learning curve as well. Our learning curve, anyhow, it was definitely kind of, you know, learning that aspect of it. But at the same time, this I guess is more or less rewarding. This would be back to challenges, but when you're expecting a moderate flow and you just get hit with
Extra flow.
yeah, I have a nightmare day that comes to mind when I think about that. But yeah, we heard 300 to 500 people. Okay, we prepped for that.
There was going to be other food trucks, a bouncy house.
Yeah.
So you think when you're going to a big gathering like that, everybody's going to like go talk to Susanna over here and then Billy Bob over here, and then instead of doing all that, everybody just comes and stands in your line and talks to each other.
That was fun. So that was an unexpected. It was an unexpected reward because monetarily it worked out fantastic. We made a absolute ton of money in a very small amount of time, but I guess I'm glad we lived through it.
That's because you were making the hot dogs.
Yeah, I had to stay focused on what I was doing because every time I turned around and looked at the line and looked at the tickets piling up on me.
Yep.
Nope. That was an interesting
You
one.
remember Madison asking if you needed help?
Yep.
And you're like, no, it's okay, I don't need help. Wait, Madison, yeah,
My
I need help.
sister-in-law's standing there having a full-on conversation with me, and I didn't realize that my sister-in-law was standing there having a conversation with me.
Too busy.
It was a blast. But again, that was a really rewarding day, and it was a really cool experience. And anybody that stood in that line that day, thank you for standing in that line that day.
You are a trooper.
And yeah, thank you. So we try to prepare for that. That's kind of a, you know, what to expect, but prepare for both. So this can't be for me. Do you find it difficult to find spots?
Nope, not at all. The first year, I was nervous about being able to find the perfect spot, but I ended up finding
I find it difficult to find the perfect spot.
plenty of spots. Yeah, this year I've had a lot of people reach out to me about their events or pool parties or neighborhood parties or graduation parties. June 7th, we actually do our first graduation party, so I'm pretty excited about that.
Yeah, the Erica, whenever we would be in the car or doing some, even just an idea, or you know what might be a really good spot to sling a lot of dogs.
Yeah, if I
she's
call
on
somewhere,
the phone before you can get it out of your mouth, and
Yeah.
So she's really never been denied any spots. We've never, you know.
Oh.
We've been really fortunate as far as that goes. And again, you don't be afraid to hear the
Reach
word
out.
no, and yeah. yeah, rejection's gonna happen, and if it does,
move on to the next.
It's like cold calling, you know.
Yep.
I could imagine anyway. I've never done that, but I could imagine. Yeah. What's the worst they can say? Nope. Get lost. So, yeah. But luckily, the event planning and things like that, there's actually a lot of events that take place in our area, and we've been pretty fortunate with people reaching out, asking us to serve the event. And a lot of times those are percentage based as far as percentage of sales, but key negotiator over here, I think she watched a lot of Pawn Stars because she's quite the little.
That's all my dad ever watched. That and Cops.
Okay, I get it. So yeah, be a good negotiator. Know your worth, know your value, and understand that sometimes you bringing a mobile food rig to an event is actually helping their event and their cause as well. So understand the worth and value and things like that, and of what you provide as well. It's just hot dogs, but there's some bomb hot dogs. You know,
yeah,
because they look beautiful.
Yep, diehard weenie fans.
Yeah, thanks guys. Do you find it difficult to work and run a business as a couple? Do you find it hard to work with your husband? Nope, it's great.
It's great.
It's really good.
It's rewarding.
It's like we're best friends.
Blessed.
Yep.
It's not bad.
It's not bad. No, in all seriousness, if I could go, I'm sure you have plenty of complaints, but I got some complaints of my own.
How was it working with your wife?
It's awesome, except for when you I'm just kidding. In the mornings, it's difficult. And what I mean by that is like when we're getting things around, like, you know, there's a lot of prep work that goes into this. You know, you got to basically get around in the morning, mobilize yourself and get to where you're going, get set up and things like that. Could be a part of my personality, but sometimes I picture things being done a certain way. And there could be a little bickering in the morning. And, you know, getting to where, you know, sometimes there's some disagreements on
bickering
how
with himself.
Something should be done, but I'm anal in some facets and I'm anal in some ways, I guess. And but I will say this. There is also a high level of this is our business and we want this to succeed and to go far. So there's nothing more important than that. And at the end, and that's really at the end of the day, this isn't marriage counseling, but that's business and that's marriage. There's going to be times when things are crappy, but the mission stays the same. And by the time we get out there and the open sign, you know, comes on, it's
happy days.
Best friends.
Yep.
Yeah. And at the end of the day, when you're counting money, how can you be mad? So yeah. Plans for the future.
Yes. Plans for the future. They are in the works right now.
Big plans for the future. Absolutely. Stay tuned for plans in the future. That's about all I can say about that.
Spring 2026.
Let's focus on 2025 for now. Future plans. Get as many hot dogs into empty bellies as possible. That's our 4-month plan right now. We have a 4-month plan. Put the hot dogs in the bellies. And yeah. So we are going to do a video here. Opening day is coming in T-4 days. And we are going to do like an onboard, like day in the life of the weenie wagon. If you're interested in seeing that, come along. We'd love to have you. You can subscribe and you'll see it, obviously. Yeah, but we're looking forward to that because we've never done that. And a lot of the videos that the few videos we've done so far are actually just like around here setting, but that's because when we're doing hot dogs, we don't have a lot of hot dog footage and all that stuff yet. So
too busy.
But we're gonna do a better job of that this year, and yeah, definitely gonna bring along whoever wants to come on opening day.
Yep.
Because I want to go.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, stay tuned for more. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Hopefully you learned something, or at least
got entertainment, free entertainment.
Learned something.
Learned something.
Yeah.
All about it.
Shout out to all the Hall and Weenies fans too, by the way. Especially the ones that do.
We just reached 1,000 followers on our Facebook page, so that was super exciting.
That was cool. We did a giveaway. That was cool. Congratulations.
Yep.
That was awesome. I don't want to say her name. That's not.
No, that's fine.
What if somebody's in a really far away place sees this, and she's wanted in like
Africa?
Yeah. Secret's safe with us.
Yeah.
Yeah. So are your hot dogs. We got them for you. Come and get them when you're ready. Anyway, thanks, guys.